Dana White, the UFC big shot, totally transformed himself from out of shape to absolutely jacked. And what's everyone talking about? His 86-hour fast. But Dana's not the only one. There are thousands out there doing these prolonged fasts and showcasing it all over social media. So why is everyone so hyped about not eating? Well, it's not rocket science. Fasting zaps weight like nothing else. Because, surprise, we're not eating anything. Zip, nada, nothing. But here's where it gets messy. We drop the pounds, we feel on top of the world, and then, whoops, the weight, it just sneaks right back on over the next few days. But here's the real scoop on Dana. The 86-hour fast, it wasn't his magic bullet. It was actually the grand finale of his one-year physique journey. So here's the deal for today. Fasting, when we do it right, can be our ticket to getting lean. So we're gonna break down Dana White's 86-hour fast. We're gonna keep the cool parts, we're gonna ditch the not so cool parts, and then we're gonna tweak it so we're not just seeing this temporary weight loss. We're locking in leanness for the long term. Ready to get lean without the gym bro fasting routine? Let's dive in. Here's a thought that will stop you in your tracks. Whether you're running fasted for 24 hours or you're running fasted for just 3 hours, you're not going to burn more body fat in total that day. Sounds crazy, right? Here's the deal. Our bodies have a cap on how much fat they can burn in one day. Even though here in Texas, I can hear people say, go big or go home. It's not just about pushing through. Real fat loss is tied to how much body fat we actually carry around. And the magic number? Roughly 31 calories per pound of body fat per day. Let's take the average American guy, 200 pounds, 30% body fat. That's 60 pounds of body fat, equating to a maximum possible daily burn of 1,860 calories from body fat. Considering the average daily calorie burn for a man is 2,500 calories, that leaves 640 calories coming from muscle loss. And the leaner you are, the worse it gets. Let's get extreme and push it to the limit. Say you wake up one day and you decide you're gonna run for 24 hours because you're aiming to torch 12,000 calories today. Your body is still only parting with 1,860 calories from fat, turning the rest into this muscle burning bonfire. That's a nightmare scenario for anyone trying to get fit. Really, it's a disaster to overdo it. We don't make any more progress. And fasting, same story. Instead, we're losing muscle and throwing our hormones into chaos. Create a calorie deficit beyond our body's fat burning potential, and we're not shedding any more fat, which makes future fat loss even harder, which is why some guys never get lean. But wait, there's a smarter way. 3 days post my tweaked modified version of the fast, dropped about 3 pounds. But the real win, those pounds didn't make a comeback even a week later. Proof that this fat loss is the real deal. Now, let's flip the script. Here's me after going all in on an 86-hour fast a la Dana White style. Down 8 pounds, feeling on top of the world, leaner than ever. But fast forward 3 days, 7 of those 8 pounds I dropped, they crept right back on. It makes you wonder, right? Why did almost all that weight I lost on the 86-hour fast just pile right back on? It's like a magician's illusion. During that 86-hour fast, what vanished wasn't just fat. It was mostly water and glycogen stored in my liver and muscles. That's why the scale shows such a dramatic drop. For every 1 gram of glycogen we drop 2 to 3 grams of water with it, which leads to that staggering 8 to 10 pounds dropped in 3 days. And then after a few days of normal eating, we replenish our glycogen stores and our water levels. And just like that, 8 to 10 pounds reappears. It feels like you're hitting the reset button when we realize that all of that effort was for 1 pound of measly fat loss. Now, let's contrast that with the protein sparing modified fast. Imagine a week where you're fasting smartly, right at your body's fat burning limit, securing a solid 3 pounds of permanent fat loss. Plus, you're eating well, you're functioning like a pro at work, you're hitting your workouts, and you're just living, you're not focused on surviving. Extend that over a month with the protein sparing modified fast, and you're looking at a potential 12 pounds of genuine permanent fat loss with 0 muscle loss. Or try pulling off the 86-hour fast every week for a month. Even if you can bear it, you might eke out 4 pounds of fat loss over the month. Realistically, it's a no-go. But in the back of your mind, you might hear that gym bro logic.
Yeah, I gained the weight back, but it's cool, bro, because I was in it for the health benefits. You know, that autophagy and stuff, not just the shreds.
So apparently it sheds all the bad dead cells and regenerates all these new cells.
To help treat cancer and Alzheimer's and other types of illnesses.
We are getting toxins out.
They're all talking about something called autophagy, a process that's become a hot topic, like it's some kind of secret to living forever. While fasting does give autophagy a nudge, it's not the only way to kickstart this cellular cleanup crew. Believe it or not, we can trigger autophagy in way less extreme ways than literally starving ourselves. Here's the thing, autophagy is happening in our bodies right now. It's chugging along at its own pace. Fasting just steps on the gas pedal. We can boost autophagy with any size of a calorie deficit, certain supplements like resveratrol, a solid workout session, and get this, just 1 hour of aerobic exercise at only 50% of your maximum heart rate ramps up autophagy as much as a 72-hour fast. So the choice is yours. Starve yourself for 3 whole days or take a leisurely 60-minute walk for the same amount of autophagy. I'm not much of a gambler, but I'd wager almost anything that you'd rather lace up those walking shoes. But then we've got these folks that say, toughen up buttercup, just power through the fast, as they rattle off this laundry list of fasting benefits they heard from the gurus. Even the motivation to leave the comfort of your sofa and explore outside is almost zero. Fasting puts a serious strain on our bodies. After 24 hours, the benefits of fasting really start to wane. So stretching beyond 24 hours is not worth the constant food cravings or muscle loss. But let's address this room full of elephants, shall we? During my 86-hour fast, food became an obsession. Quality sleep was a distant memory. My productivity plummeted. My mental stability took a nosedive. And exercising to keep our muscles during a fast, that was off the table, with my energy levels at rock bottom and my blood pressure just all over the place. And this segues into the biggest concern I hear from clients about fasting. What about hunger and cravings? Sure, some people say after 48 hours, I'm not even hungry. Dana White even joked about not being hungry, but also not being able to stop thinking about food.
When you start getting into like 48 hours, 50 hours, you're not hungry.
Okay.
But you're thinking about fucking food.
Constantly preoccupied with thoughts of different foods. Basically, hunger comes and goes in these waves. But picture this, you're fasting, and suddenly it's as if food ads are targeting you personally, everywhere, taunting you at every turn. And let's get real, navigating a world full of food temptations left and right makes telling apart real hunger from actually just wanting to eat super tough for most of us. But if you're serious about fasting effectively, let's talk about what will support you getting through a protein sparing modified fast. First things first, aim for that 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And if you're over 220 pounds, then target 1 gram per pound of your target body weight. Then adjust your calories to hit that sweet spot for maximum calorie burning based on our earlier calculation. And you've got 2 paths here. Option 1, keep it straightforward. Just focus on lean proteins, healthy fats, and stay hydrated. And if you're looking for a simple grocery list, here's my go-to for those who prefer those clear-cut instructions. Screenshot this. Option 2 involves a collection of my favorite recipes that easily get you through a protein-sparing modified fast. A few of the top picks are omelets, protein pancakes, stir fries, steak salads, baked chicken, fried prawns, roasted pork loin, and of course, some of that Ninja Creamy for that sweet tooth satisfaction. Craving recipe ideas? Click subscribe, because fasting from this content, not a good idea. Now you're armed with the lowdown on 86-hour fast versus protein sparing modified fast and the nutritional game plan to go along with it, how do we weave this into a weight loss strategy for lasting results? Considering over 90% of people gained back the weight they worked so hard to lose, let's just take a moment to dive into how we can be part of that successful 10% with the protein sparing modified fast. You've probably heard this adage 1,000 times. Consistency is king. That's where protein sparing modified fast poses a challenge. But I've navigated this using a bunch of different approaches with clients. For those routine lovers out there with a predictable daily schedule, our repeatable daily protocol with protein sparing can get you to your goals steadily and surely. Now, if you're dealing with a schedule that's all over the place, mixing in a few protein sparing days per week while keeping the most unpredictable days at maintenance is a super effective long-term strategy. And for those road warriors who are traveling around a lot, flipping into a shift pattern of protein sparing weeks and maintenance weeks, or 4 days on, 4 days off, you get the picture, keeps things progressing and easily manageable. Basically, there's a way to make rapid, predictable weight loss work for everyone. You've just got to find your groove. But what sets protein sparing apart isn't just the speed at which you drop pounds. The real gems are the benefits my clients are raving about, echoing the kind of life-changing shifts that Dana was also talking about. Fasting can revolutionize your relationship with food, really helping you distinguish distinguish between genuine hunger and mindless cravings. It's a game changer for those boredom eaters among us. Plus, it's your secret weapon for navigating events like celebrations or work dinners, allowing you to deplete your glycogen stores before a big day out, or offset a surplus of calories from the day before without derailing your progress. And it also serves as a gentle, humbling reminder. Living in a country where food is not only readily available, but can be delivered to our doorstep any day, anytime, is a very fortunate position to be in. But what about feasting after fasting? Check out my video here, where I reveal my ultimate low-calorie, high-protein ice cream recipe.